What's going on, everybody? This is Chris here at Dusty Music. I'm here with Liam over
What's
here.
up, guys?
We have some great news for Brockhampton fans. A new album may be around the corner. Kevin Abstract has tweeted that the album is finished. They're just waiting for samples to clear, and let's talk about it. This will be their seventh studio album.
Yeah, so what Kevin does is he tweets and then deletes tweets. But we found a couple right here. This first one says the Brockhampton album has been done for months. We're just clearing samples right now, and it's taking a second, but it's coming before the year is over. So it's coming in 2022. We're gonna have a new Brockhampton album in 2022. I'm really stoked about this. Like, I'm so excited. I think what we've understood is that this album was recorded when the band was together, but the band has been essentially broken up for close to a year at this point, right? So I wonder how much is this album mostly going to be comprised of technical difficulty cuts? What do you think, Chris?
So that's the first thing that came to my mind because when he said samples cleared, that was one of the reasons why a lot of the technical difficulty songs weren't technically no
Yeah.
pun there weren't technically released was because all these samples didn't clear. So maybe I hope that there are a couple. I'd love to hear Fishbone again if they
Dude,
remastered it. But for me personally, I personally don't want to hear any song from Technical Difficulties because I want to hear like brand new, refreshing songs. Because during the Big C, and I mean that's when Technical Difficulties was dropped, and we've listened to those songs so many times. So to hear that on a new album, I feel like would be a little lazy by them, to be honest, considering how much music that they all make together. So
I
I
think
hope
that
that
there'll
we get.
definitely be. I think there's going to be like new music, but I do think what they're going to do is use some of the TD stuff and like put it on the record because we saw that
Yeah.
on on Roadrunner, right? Like they recycled and remixed a lot of their own songs. Like this, like we thought we knew what Bankroll was, we didn't know what it was, right? They used verses on new songs and then used the beat on new songs and then I don't know, like or in some cases they just cut out samples. So we might just like have new versions of songs. Dude, you said Fishbone, and I'm like 100%. I would love to hear Fishbone. There also Four Flat Tires with Justin Timberlake is a dope track. I've been like collecting a lot of songs that like I don't think are ever gonna make it on a record, but like maybe that might be fun to do in the future. Like you and I can just like listen to some of these songs together. But like there's songs like Price I Pay with Halsey. That's a dope track. I don't even like Halsey like that, but like she's really like she crushes on the song. Have you heard that one?
I have not heard that one with Halsey. No.
Yeah, that one's dope. Dude, Baby Bull, Fishbone,
Yeah.
Downside, MOB, NST. There's so many good tracks that like we don't need to have technically, but would be dope. Like I got a song here, Blast Off, If I Need Ya, Cherry Popsicle. These are great. Dude, Los Angeles. Okay, anyways, I'm reading my iTunes list right now of like songs from Brockhampton that I want to hear on a new album. Kevin also tweeted Harry Styles is inspiring me the most right now. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Are we gonna get like is it gonna sound like a Harry record?
Yeah, and
Harry?
Harry's record came out what last month.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe 2 months ago. Yeah,
So
last month.
that's been some time for Kevin to listen to it, and we all know he's been a huge stan of Harry Styles since the beginning.
Dude,
The-
yeah.
But I wonder if this is going to be inspiration on a Brockhampton record or an inspiration on a Kevin Abstract record.
Probably. So like I said, so we know the album is finished. So if Kevin is now saying Harry's inspiring me, then I mean that could mean music. We're assuming it means music, but it could also be like fashion or like influence or whatever he's doing in his spare time. I think whatever the inspiration is that Kevin's feeling from Harry, I don't think it's gonna have anything to do with this new record. I think this new record's. I mean, it's done. He said it's done. So I think again, a lot of the songs that we're gonna be hearing are really actually from 20, just 21 or previously. Chris, I think what's really cool. I like to theorize about like, if the band breaks up, that doesn't mean they can't put out music. Like I think, I mean, obviously we're getting a record, but what they could also do is like a 5-year anniversary record of the Saturation trilogy, right? They could do, oh, let's put out all of our demos, right? Or they could do something that I've been thinking about is like they have so many versions in their vault of existing songs. Why don't they put out and they have so many members, right? Why don't they put out a remix record of one of their own records, right? They like let's say they put out a remix of the I don't know 12 of the best Saturation songs, and they have different verses or maybe slightly different hooks for the different instrumentals. Like they could do things like that with existing content, right? Like just remixing content. And I wonder, like, how long into the future are we going to have to wait until we get new Brockhampton music? Because we're just at the dawn of them breaking up. And I don't think this isn't a toxic breakup. Like, I think they will be back together within the next 5 years. What do you think?
Yeah, if there's going to be a new Brockhampton record this year, which is what Kevin's saying, and look, side note, let's hope that, I mean, some artists in the industry make false promises on album release dates. That's the struggle of being a music fan.
Who does
I
that?
hope that Brockhampton can deliver that on time. So if Kevin Abstract is saying, okay, if this album's going to be out by 2022, we better hope that it comes out this year and not them creating a press release saying, oh, the album's pushed back, we're going to have to wait until 2023. I hope that doesn't happen. But I wanted to ask you, because we had this conversation off camera yesterday. We were talking about their discography, where we were talking about how the Saturation series was like a time in our lives at a certain point, and then Ginger was like Iridescence was like their chaos breakup album, and then Ginger was like their sad cooping album, and then their Roadrunner was like their, what did you describe it as?
I think it's like they're almost like trying to. I forgot what I said, but I see it as either healing or I see it as additional turmoil. Maybe it's a combination, and then it's also them trying to reclaim an old sound, an old vibe. When in reality, their original fan base, they're not going to recapture the original fan base. The original fan base that found them in 2017 is now 5 years older, right? So they're going to be looking for new types of music. I want Brockhampton to break up, develop as artists. They're our age, right? They need to grow up, develop new sounds, and then if they do come back together, like, then they'll actually feel rejuvenated. It's like they're not forced to do it just because they've been doing it and they're contractually obligated. They'll actually transform their sounds, right? They'll be new artists altogether.
So with this next album, do you think that this is like a bow on a present where they just kind of complete the saga of these last few albums? Like,
Yeah,
is this like their closure album where they are back to themselves again?
No, I think Roadrunner was. I think Roadrunner is truly the canonical last record that they put out, and I think this record is, because Kevin had said it in an interview. Someone, or maybe it was Ramil. This whole record was, yeah. I think Kevin produced the record, but used existing content. So this is a bunch of loosies. This is like Dark Lane demo tapes. It's just loose. They're loose tracks. It's like a compilation. It's a posthumous record in some sense. Which
I like that
I don't know if
idea.
that's good or bad. I think it's going to be, I think it will have good music in it, and I'm excited for it, but I think it's just like a quick little send off. And then if they want to get the bag in 2 years, right? If they want to they have so much music, right? This isn't one artist and you pick the best and make it record. This is 10 artists and you pick the best and you have 10 records, right? Where it would take one person to make one record in 3 years, it's gonna take Brockhampton 1 year to make 5 good records. That's why we were able to get so much output, because there's so many people giving their best. So I think, yeah.
You nailed it. Exactly. Because they have so much more brains and they have so much more resources, I think, that they can, exactly like you said, they can put out more records at a time. They're like, I don't know. I think with this album, I'm hoping that it's we get a little taste of Brockhampton in the beginning.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Amir's not going to be a part of it, and that's okay. But hopefully, that they can tune in back to that time where they were having fun.
But dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I hope. Yeah, what I'm saying is, whatever this might be, I think down the line there's always room for, like deluxe versions for anniversary dates of records with new tracks, maybe with new Amir songs. There's always room for. Here's a version of Puppy that you never got. Here's a version of The Best Years of Our Lives, right? Like those things could happen, and I know it's like kind of like a. I think what I'm saying is you can be this hopeful for any artist to release unreleased music, but the fact that Brockhampton is broken up but is deciding to still put out music, right? It tells me they could still leak their own stuff or publicly and officially release their own stuff that wasn't previously going to be used. I think that's why I think it's actually a possibility, because of this record being an amalgamation of older music.
Now, each album, you could make the argument that each record, a certain member shined more than the members did. So for this record, I want to ask you, which member do you want to see shine the most on this next project?
I think I want to see. It feels kind of like a cop out, but I do think we still haven't seen the full potential of a modern day Kevin. I think Kevin got really depressed, and I love his music on Ginger. I really like his delivery on Ginger, but he did come back for Roadrunner, but that got me so hungry for more, and I feel like we're not gonna get that on a Kevin solo record, right? So we can only get that from him on a Brockhampton record. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think. Like, obviously, I want to see more Matt. I want to see more Joba. I think Joba's had the spotlight. Maybe more Matt. Matt and Dom typically don't get the total spotlight. They feel like side characters, right?
For me, I was gonna say Matt. I was gonna say Matt Champion.
Yeah.
I think Matt has been. I mean, we know how great Matt is, but I feel like we really need to have a record. Go back to technical difficulties. Matt shined all over those tracks.
Because it's a mixtape. Because it feels like a mixtape, and he's so grimy on it, dude. He just goes, and they get all these like really, because there's like no focus on pop. It sounds like Brockhampton. The technical difficulty music sounds like Brockhampton, but it has a distinct style, right? It's like there's no hooks. They're just rapping.
Dude, I think if we let Matt out of the cage on this one, I think he could really go crazy on some of these songs.
Bro, I hope so, dude. I hope so. Let us know what you think in the comments. I'm really pumped, Chris. We could literally be listening to a new record any month. I'm hoping this record comes out at the end of the summer, like in August. I'm just gonna drive to the beach at sunset, just cruise around the shore and listen to this new Brockhampton record. Let us know what you guys think. Hit the sub button. We'll see you in the next video.